it really does not give a specific genre. It's like the one genre name that has nothing to do with what the band sounds like. So you can put jam band up here, and then there can just be like all of these breaking off points and different styles that live under that jam band moniker. So I think it's great for people that like different styles of music and like variety, because you can have that same energy and you can have that similar like community and crowd and the sense and all of that, and you could be seeing a different style band every single time. But there's like this main focus. There's like this wielding of energy, and then this like symbiosis between the crowd and between the band that just gets pushed up, and like, oh man, it's just giving me chills thinking about it right now. Like what jam bands are capable of, like the real deal jam bands, what they can do. So yeah, it's not a name of a genre, really. It's more of a name. It's like a classification of an approach. It's a classification of an approach rather than a genre name. Rock is a genre name. If you say rock bands, you're going to find a lot of similarities between a lot of rock bands, okay? If you say hip hop, you're going to find a lot of similarities between hip hop groups and like the way that the music sounds. If you say R&B, same thing. If you say country, I mean, come on, like you hear country music, you know immediately that's country music, okay? I mean, there's bands that are country jam bands, you know? So then you're pushing things out there a little bit. So you have both. You can have country jam bands, you can have bluegrass jam bands, you can have electronica jam bands, you can have hip hop jam bands, you can have funk jam bands, you can have rock jam bands. Jam bands are not restricted by genre, okay? Jam band is an idea. It's the way the community comes together. It's the way the band orchestrates the show. It's the way the band orchestrates the tour. Collectibles, artwork, pins, posters, hats. The jam band community loves this stuff. They love merch. They love swag. And I'm sure that crosses over into other genres as well. But man, there's like serious collectors in this scene. And yeah, man, I mean, just everything about it is community driven. I got into it because, I had some buddies that were into the styles, and I got brought to a Fish show in 2003, and that changed a lot for me. That kind of dipped my toes into the water, if you will. Then the next year I saw Phil Lesh, and that completely changed my life. That tore down the walls of what I thought reality was and what I thought was possible in music. And it showed me that anything can be possible. That show was with Jimmy Herring, Barry Sless. We had Jeff Sipe was on drums, like phenomenal. Rob Baracco on keys, Joan Osborne singing. And I believe Ryan Adams was supposed to be there, but something happened and Joan took her spot. They did some of his tunes that night. And that completely changed my life. And from then on, I was on that road of like searching for those bands, the Widespread Panics, the Fish, the String Cheese Incidents, at that time, Phil and Friends. So, man, I mean, it's a gamut, out there of different bands and different styles. And I would like to hear more from you all. I had a lot of people comment when I put it out there on social media, but if you're watching this on YouTube or any of those channels, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments, because I don't think this discussion is over. I think that it's just started, and it doesn't have to be heated. It doesn't have to be hateful, and if you don't like the term jam band and maybe you like the term improvisational rock better or improvisational band better or something like that, to each their own. But I think the term jam band is fine. And I think if you look at it from a perspective, not from what the music sounds like, but what kind of environment that the band creates at their shows, I think it actually works perfectly.